Lost on Lost Season 2, baby!
Hell yeah!
We've watched Seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Lost, and we've learned a lot.
Did we?
And we've learned to love Jack, Kate, Sawyer, Boone, and Claire.
Did we?
But now it's time for Seasons 4, 5, and 6.
That's right, we're still going to talk about the mysteries and mythologies of the island.
And obviously hot tropical hookups.
But now we're going to talk about things like the freighter,
The Others,
Charles Widmore,
The Lighthouse,
time travel,
9/11,
Ronald Reagan,
The Catholic Church,
Titus,
Gold Chains,
the military-industrial complex,
the Prison Industrial Complex,
the Void,
The Orb,
and so much more.
So strap on and strap down, because if you thought last season was confusing,
This is going to be so much worse. Or better if you like being lost on Lost. Strap on.
you heard me.
Welcome everybody to Lost on Lost. Hey, I'm JP Russell, and I'm joined, as always, by a guy who's got at least one working microphone right now, Adam Busher.
At least one, baby. And if you want some more, I can put up to 6 in this bad boy, because I have disposable income, and I bought this thing that can do that, and I don't need it.
Mine doesn't ever work, and we're at 107 episodes now, and I'm like, do I now, this late in the game, invest money into this podcast to get it to work? No!
No, absolutely not. What's that saying? Save where you can and spend where you have to. And we don't have to.
Yeah. You know what? I'll do it for the fans. I'll do it for all of the tens of fans. Speaking of fans, Adam, we have two guests here that are huge fans of the show.
Both guests and fans.
Well, one of them has to be. Welcome back to the show, Kai and Eric.
Hello.
Hello.
Kai, yes, you are the one that has to be on the show because we're getting married. Eric is here. Well,
And
Eric has been
and Eric's here.
Yeah, Eric has
Eric's
been
also here.
Yeah, Eric has been a co-host of this show. So,
Yeah, that's true.
you know, he's just part of the crew.
Yeah, bringing the band back together from Secret Baby Tomb. That was the name of that episode that Eric filled in for me and tried to usurp my throne.
I did usurp, let's be real.
I mean, briefly. And well, I mean, you did, and then you
abdicated the throne.
Yeah,
Yeah.
immediately, because you were like,
The
this
fan
is,
buzz was there, though.
Yeah, a hype was real.
All-time high.
Kai, Eric, refresh us both as to your depth and or breadth of knowledge of the television program Lost.
My breadth of knowledge there is what I watch semi-voluntarily when I come on the show and or when my fiance asks to watch an episode.
I think you've gotten the worst Lost on Lost experience because you just have to watch like every 14th episode.
I do. I think I might know less than people who've never watched the show.
Fair.
That tracks.
And I've seen the pilot, I've seen the finale, and I have seen now 5, I guess it was 3 and then a 4th and 5th here for this. I've seen 7 episodes of Lost total.
Mm-hmm.
I think I understand it fully and I'm ready to go. Yeah. So I have no more questions.
Yeah, honestly, you've seen the most explanatory episodes of the show.
Mm-hmm.
The pilot, these 2 that we just watched for this, DOC, and that other one.
And that's it. Those are the only ones. If you have a best of DVD, it's just those 7.
And you got to have a best of DVD because they're trying to get rid of physical media and you got to buy physical media.
I just bought a Blu-ray of fried green tomatoes the other day.
Ooh.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, there are 2 episodes of Lost that we have to talk about, so we're going to get right into this shit. The episodes that we are talking about today are There's No Place Like Home, parts 2 and 3. We have already talked about part 1 previously.
Thank God we didn't have to do all 3 of these together.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's No Place Like Home parts 2 and 3 were written by Hughes and Lindelof, directed by Jack Bender. They covered a 100th through 108th days after the crash of Oceanic Flight 815. Our central characters are Kate Austin, Jack Shepard, Saeed Jarrah, Hugo Hurley-Reyes, Aaron Littleton, Sun Quan, that's right, the Oceanic 6. Did I miss anybody? I don't think I did.
Desmond?
Desmond's not one of the 6. He's not technically centric either.
I mean, Jin's around.
Jin's not centric.
There's more of Jin around
Jin's centric
now.
for me.
Well, yeah. JP,
Yeah.
do you have a recap?
Yeah.
All right, well, fucking give her, I guess.
We have to go back to when this show had pacing. On the island, everyone tries to get off the island. Well, except for Miles, Charlotte, I think Faraday, and probably Sawyer. And Ben, who really, really, really wants to stay on the island, well, he's going to leave the island. Kate hits Jack, Saeed hits Kimi, and Walt hits puberty. Jin has plot armor thicker than his cheekbones. Off the island, folks try to get back onto the island. Some other shit happens, yada, yada, yada. The island moves, and we finally learn who Jeremy Bentham is. Who's in the coffin? Oh, wait, we already knew that. Let's talk about 2 hours of Lost.
Oh, man. Watching this show out of order is the best thing that has ever happened to anybody. You, me, the fans, our guests. It's the best because, the big reveal at the end of the episode, we fucking knew months ago.
Kai, you and I were talking about this, how like everything that happens in this episode sans a couple of little things we already knew.
What's funny is I don't see many episodes of Lost, and I think I saw the episodes that revealed that information just by happenstance. And so this whole episode, I was like, yeah, guys, haven't we been talking about this? I did not understand that they were supposed to be reveals at that time.
They want to get off the island. That's old shit. Why are you talking about old shit?
That was weeks ago.
I guess I'm confused that how could it have been anybody else in the coffin? Because every other character is accounted for.
Yeah.
Like, how could that have been a surprise? John Locke was the only person.
We'll revisit that when we reach the conclusion.
We can
of the
save that for
episode.
later.
T2J on part 2 here is like 4 seconds. We start and flash forward. Continuation of the scene from the end of the season 3 finale where Jack tells Kate they got to go back underneath the runway. He's all beardy and drunk. It's real great.
She does the thing where every time, because she's done this in other episodes too, where he just mentions Aaron anecdotally because he's important to the plot. And she's like, don't you say his name!
Also, we gather from the scene that at some point he's a parental figure in Aaron's life, so why would he not?
He used to be.
The short version is once he realized that Aaron was not just like his adopted son, but like his actual nephew, that really weirded him out and constantly reminded him of his half-sister who he abandoned on the island, and so he didn't want to hang out with Kate anymore.
Sidebar, who is his half-sister?
Claire.
Oh, yeah. I forget she exists a lot.
Yeah.
She's hardly in this episode.
She's hardly in this show until season 6.
She, like, I can't believe you would ask me to go back after everything we had to do to get off and blah, don't say his name. And, like, the whole thing about, like, her indignation feels very frustrating to me as the co-host of this show. I don't know how it struck Eric and Kai.
I didn't really feel much from this scene. I knew the we have to go back crying face, and I kind of did the Leo point when I saw that, and I was very excited about this.
Yeah.
Knowing they're going to go back, knowing that they're about to have to go to 1976, because that was the last time I was on this show. I was saying that there's no stakes here, because like everything's about to get flipped upside down. This isn't actual drama. Like there's nothing here.
For me, I'm a perpetual Kate hater. If Kate has no haters, I am dead.
That's why we're getting married, honey.
Everything that she does makes me just like, girl, why? Why? What?
The one thing I will give her is all of the other Oceanic 6, I mean, sans Aaron because he's a baby, but like everybody else is kind of having a bad time ever since they got back from the island. Kate's life has improved pretty drastically.
I will say, in terms of like believable character development, it makes sense to me for her to be the character that was able to do that, because she was able to do that when she's on the run. She's able to do that when she's creating new lives, and we've seen this out of her before, so I did like that as far as like that felt appropriate for her character.
Yeah.
We've seen her able to build a life out of nothing before.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she got super lucky by like getting out of all of her legal bullshit.
Yeah.
Like she got away with murder. And so, yeah, she might be like bummed out and depressed, but like she's not in prison.
Right. She's got different perspective than some of the rest of the crew, I'm sure.
That's fair.
And I think that's why, for me, the indignation felt so frustrating, is because she didn't want to leave the island for the same reason Sawyer didn't want to. He's a criminal, like on the island, you can start over and be your own person. She never wanted to go back because she knew she was going to be facing these consequences. Turns out she didn't have to face the consequence. She got out of it, and now it's okay.
Yeah, if there was another universe of this show where like Kate did not win that court case and is in jail, and Jack's like, you want to go back? She's like, okay, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
could you imagine the prison break episode
Prison
of
Kate.
Lost, though?
Yeah,
Oh.
it'd be 4 minutes, just Saeed driving up to the prison, shooting 2 prison guards, and then walking out of the door with her. Like, that's what
I
it
mean,
would be.
they'd have to go steal a baby because she wouldn't have Aaron in jail, right?
Yeah, and Jack wouldn't take her.
oh, he could have a baby's day out thing.
Yeah, but they don't have to. They don't have to steal Aaron, right?
All of them have to go back. That was the whole thing.
So, I mean, sort of.
I'm assuming.
Sort of.
I'm assuming Aaron is part of all of them.
As an aside, for an island that does not allow for any births, there are a lot of freaking island babies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it turns out that it's not actually that big of a deal.
There are so many island babies.
There's a lot of island babies.
And they're all in this episode.
I think that I think if you go back to the pregnancy issues that the others were experiencing back in the season 1, 2, 3 era, they probably just got shitty doctors.
They just kept pulling out.
Let's leave that scene behind. Fuck that shit. We cut back to the island. Jack and Sawyer reach the Orchid. They find Hugo taking a leak.
That sets the pace for these next 2 episodes. There are so many scenes that just have unnecessary, like we call them tips and tails, where the meteor scene is in the middle and there's just this excess shit at the front end of the back end. It's like, well, what's Hurley doing? He's over there taking a whiz. Zip. Like, oh
Hurley's
my God.
dick out in the jungle. It's what Hurley's doing.
What is Hurley doing in the scene? Maybe he's got his dick out? Man, as good as anything else we can think of. But yeah, so like Jack and Hugo reconcile a little bit. They probably haven't seen each other in a while chronologically. Then the 3 of them, Jack and Sawyer and Hugo, go talk to Locke, who's inside the greenhouse.
Smelling the daisies.
Anybody else notice that Jack's way wetter than everybody else in this scene? Like everybody else kind of has their stuff together, and like Jack's just got a layer on him that Locke and Hurley and Sawyer don't.
They don't really talk about it in this episode that much because they kind of covered it in the previous episode, but he is slowly bleeding to death from a recent appendix surgery.
Yeah.
All right, well, they did explain it. Okay, never mind.
So the sweat is, I think they're trying to represent that. He's recovering from surgery. He should not be up and about. God forbid they say that. Anybody else want to talk about the fucking garden scene here? No? Remarks complete? All right,
next
moving
scene.
on.
Remarks complete.
Desmond, Michael, and Jin look at a metric ton of C4.
Could you say freighter correctly, please?
Freighter, I hardly know her.
Thank you.
So yeah, the bomb has got not only all of the C4, but all of the wires and all of the dummy switches and all of the booby traps and all the bullshit. They're just like, look at that. Oh, if you do that, no. Do this, no. Do that, no. Desmond apparently in his training with the Royal Scots did 4.5 days of bomb disposal training.
And he feels real confident about it.
Yeah.
Now, I get that it's not the same, but JP, did you guys have like a limited bomb disposal training?
No, we had to train on identifying IEDs so that we did not set them off, but then it's always get away from it.
Gotcha.
My little brother, who's in the National Guard, is he did sapper training, and so he did a bunch of bomb shit. They blew up a piece of plywood with a piece of det cord.
I mean, we could do that. Eric and I have done that.
Yeah.
Good, cool.
Plausible deniability. I wasn't there.
Back to the Orchid. Locke's like, hey, hear me out. And Jack's like, I've been hearing you out for 4 years. I'm leaving. No, I don't want to hear your bullshit.
The scene with Jack and Locke talking here was definitely the first time I've watched Lost and thought that Jack was actually making some salient points.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to shout that out because I'm a fair person. If Jack's making good points, I'm going to call him out like I call him out in his bullshit all the time. Yeah. Like I think that Jack was in a better headspace here than a lot of times where he's just saying like, no, we're done, we're leaving.
Yeah, I think Jack was pretty reasonable here.
And Locke's out here being like, I'm going to make miracles happen, Jack.
Yeah. And Jack's like, what? This isn't fucking Disneyland. Like, this isn't the happiest place on earth. You're the only person who wants to stay here. And I get it. You're not paralyzed anymore. Fucking stay, man.
This is still like so much of seasons 1, 2, and 3, Jack, where he's like, the island's not magical. And it's like, I mean, Locke's walking around, you saw your dead dads, and you encountered a smoke monster and a myriad of other things.
Yeah, like how much evidence do you need?
I think, that's fair, but also most of it is evidence for we should get the fuck off this island.
Sure.
And it's irritating that, JP, don't hate me, John Locke's smarmy attitude of just like, no, like, I don't know. Like, I think it's pretty audacious of Locke to be like, I can just tell him that this is a place that miracles happen and that'll convert him. Like, Jack has been presented with a shitload of evidence as to why it's still a good idea to leave. Right.
And Locke's like, but Jack, miracles.
Right.
You're going to cut, like, Jack's, like, I don't know. But I guess that's the burden of those with faith who, they evangelize to whatever. They evangelize to people like they gotta try and recruit people. I don't know.
That's probably the reason why it rubs me the wrong way. Because like him so much less now that he's kind of tapped into that sort of space
Yeah.
than I used to.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, it's a short scene. It's a weird scene. It's a continuation of this whole Jack versus Locke thing that existed in season 2. It's retread territory. Cut to the jungle. Kimi is escorting Ben to the chopper.
I remember Jack and Sawyer like running into Frank at the helicopter. Did
Yeah.
they just leave him handcuffed to it?
Musta. I thought they got there and they cut him loose and then they went after Hugo. But apparently
Right.
they were in
Yeah.
such a hurry to get Hugo that they left Frank handcuffed to the fucking chopper. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Kimi is just like, why are you such a big deal? And Ben's like, I don't know, I am. Deal with it. Deal with me being a big deal and you being not a big deal. Like, that's life. Sorry.
Oh, I had a note here that Jack previously keeps referring to him as Lapidus. I'm like, his name is Frank.
Yeah, his
Stop.
name's Frank. Stop saying Lapidus. Like, I know that's his name, but like, his name's Frank.
Only the warden calls him Lapidus.
They approach and they see Frank trying to bust out and Kimi's like, who gave him the toolbox? Ah, they freak out. Yeah, that's the biggest problem here, the fucking toolbox.
Yeah.
They get over there, they're like, okay, let's get going. They hear a noise. Strike a perimeter. Kate comes rolling in. I'm being chased.
Given the stakes of the situation, there's no way one of those guys shouldn't have just lit Kate up, right?
These guys are too fucking jumpy for me to believe that, yeah, like she got that close and somebody didn't just kill her before she had a chance to say anything.
Yeah, like she gets within like 6 feet.
Yeah.
Like she had her hands up, sure, but like
These guys are bad dudes.
Even without the circumstances, they probably should have just lit Kate up.
They seem pretty ruthless and like to just shoot whoever comes across their way.
yeah, like
So, yeah, again, plot armor.
Yeah, I mean, these are the same guys that lit up New Otherton, more than happy to kill a mother, a baby,
Carl.
several defenseless, unarmed background folks. They shot a house with a rocket launcher.
Forgot about that. That was pretty dope.
So Kate's like, I'm being chased by a bunch of guys that are going to ambush you. And they're like, okay, let's get ready for the ambush. That's definitely coming.
Yeah, let's split up.
Let's all fan out into the tall grass so we can't see each other anymore. Does everybody have on their camo face paint?
Yeah, not this nice defensible like grouped area that we have.
let's go get Rambo'd in the woods.
And so commences the battle at the helicopter.
Ugh.
Is that what it's called?
In Lostpedia. Yeah, I think it's called the battle.
They named the battle.
Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure it's called the battle of the helicopter, or the battle of the chopper, or something like that. It has its own Lostpedia entrance. It's pretty hilarious.
Wow, it's right up there with the Battle of Hastings.
The thing about this is it's not really a battle. Like Kimi's dudes just kind of get all fucking murked.
Yeah, it's Saeed and Richard's crew that are attacking?
Yeah, Saeed was with Kate. Kate and Saeed stayed behind when Jack and Sawyer went off to go locate Hugo. They hooked up with Richard. I think Kate and Sawyer were trying to go back to the beach.
That all sounds right. I don't remember any of it.
Yeah, me neither.
Also, I know it's a little thing, but these mercenaries have the worst weapons handling just techniques I've ever seen.
It almost looked to me like the props were weighted incorrectly. Like, just the barrels were super heavy and the pistol grip area was very light. And so the way they were holding them, it almost seemed like they were out of balance in their hands.
I could talk forever about this, but like one of the dudes is just flat out just like holding the rifle wrong, so it's imbalanced. So like, you know.
Well, I mean, that's what, like, they're doing it so wrong. It looks like they're compensating for a bad prop. That's what it looks like. Like, that's how wrong their handling is. There's a sick Saeed tackle, super good. And then Saeed and Kimi have a really good fight.
Not before Kimi kicks a live grenade at one of his dudes and blows him up, which probably has something to do with why the helicopter is a hole in it later, but whatever.
The only note I had about this scene was that is it part of the island's magic that it's like 85% hills?
Yeah.
Because like this was just a lot of people falling down hills for like 3 minutes, like constantly.
Ben's stunt double does not look like Ben.
Yeah, that'll happen. But yeah, they have a pretty good fight. Saeed stabs Kimi. Kimi's gonna choke him with a stick. And then Ricardo just fucking blasts him in the back. Pop, 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 pop. Knocks him unconscious with his eyes open, but making him look like he's dead so that everybody just like leaves his body and doesn't check if he's actually dead.
So he's been stabbed in the back.
Yeah.
And shot at least twice. He's fine.
Yeah. The knife went through his, like, it went, like, into his armpit area. So, like, I buy that, missing the body armor, but, like, he's wearing body armor. You shot him and he's wearing body armor. Like,
Clearly has a vest on.
Right.
Well, he is wearing a vest. There are no plates.
Well,
in that.
no, there's no
That
plates
is a
in it.
web vest. That he might as well be wearing fishing gear.
He's wearing television body armor in that he has a vest on, so it's obviously bulletproof.
He's got some weighted lures in there, and it caught one of the bullets. And like, fishing vests are safe.
I'm gonna try and do a Kimi impression. Women want me, fish fear me. Is that anything?
I would have gone more like, get to the chopper.
Yeah, all right.
Ben's like, thanks for showing up, Richard. Appreciate you. You're the big dog. And
You're the wind beneath my wings.
yeah. And he's like, so what deal did you make? And Richard's like, they help us save you. We let them go. And Ben's like, all right, been nice knowing you.
Later.
And Kate's like, for real? And he's like,
Yeah.
leave
Are you
before I
sure?
change my mind.
Daddy says I can go home.
Ta-da. Kai, you were very angry at everything Ben did in this episode, and you're like, why would anyone continue to trust him?
I don't know why anyone plays ball with Ben at this point. Every single interaction, he's like, let me do this thing with you. Oops, I've betrayed you. And then someone else who knows about what happened goes and makes another deal with him or works with him on something else. And every time it's, oops, I betrayed you.
He's got one play, and he's never done anything different.
And his face just reads, I'm going to double cross you. Like,
Sure.
I don't know. Like, he's never been anything else.
Yeah.
It's not Ben's fault at this point.
Right. Yeah. His one defining trait is he's a master manipulator. And at this point, yeah, everybody knows it.
He's really good at baiting people. You could say he's a...
Don't do it. You shut your mouth.
All right, moving
Do
on.
it. Do it.
Coward.
He's a masturbator.
Next scene. Cut to a flash forward. This is outside of Santa Rosa. Oh no, this is inside Santa Rosa.
Yeah.
Hugo is chilling, and he gets visited by. I didn't recognize her. I didn't remember her, but this is Walt's grandmother.
Yeah. So much time is just eaten up by these scenes. Like, you can tell that the editor was like, fuck me. Like, I gotta stretch this out to how many minutes? Kai, what is it that you said when Walt showed up? You were like, oh man, the casting director at least got somebody.
Oh, I did say that. Yeah, I was like, yeah, they really got spot on, with an actor aged up for Walt.
Yeah.
And I was like, honey, I have something horrible to tell you. That is Walt.
To be fair, the statement still stands. He looked remarkably like Walt.
Puberty hit that kid like a ton of bricks.
I am 100% convinced he was on his knees in every shot he was in.
It's so crazy to think, like, how much time passed in shooting? Was it just that he hit a crazy growth spurt, or like
they cast a kid who was seconds away from hitting puberty.
Yeah.
Like they just got super unlucky. They cast like a 13-year-old kid, and then in a year he grew like a foot.
He would have left sometime in season 2, right? So then he would have been gone for all season 3, and here we are at the end of season 4. So
And this is his first appearance.
Yeah, this is his first appearance since season 2. The last time he showed up on the show, it was actually archival footage. So this is the first time that the actor is back and in person.
something you got to know about me, audience, is that in between my sophomore and junior year of high school, I hit puberty. But it was like during the summer.
Yeah.
So like all of my awkward like voice cracks and all that stuff was thankfully not when school was in session. But I went from being like 85, 90 pounds, 5 foot nothing to, and my voice was probably somewhere up here like this, with a much deeper voice, 5'9", 5'10" with shoes. I don't know, over the span of like 3 months, I could see them just taking a break, from shooting and being like, oh, okay, let's bring Walt back on to say, holy shit, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me. I guess I just don't think about it because I've been 6 feet tall since I was in 7th grade. So,
Brag, you're 6 foot tall.
hey, JP, why don't you grow up?
So tall. JP's so little.
He's just a little guy.
Can you hand me that up there?
So yeah, Walt's like, hey, why are you lying? And Hugo confesses, we had to lie to keep everybody safe. We had to protect everybody who didn't come back. And Walt's like my dad? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
totally.
your dad.
He's just fine.
Come back to the orchid. Something happens here. James and Hugo talk about something.
Crackers, thanks for coming back for me. That's it.
They're like, damn, these are good. Like, brother, that's a saltine.
Oh yeah, the saltines. That's right. It's like, dude, get in on these saltines, man. It's like, fuck yeah.
But if I had not had like junk food in that long, I could probably feel the same way about saltines.
Oh man, I'd fuck up a saltine right now. I don't even care. That shit's great.
Like, have you ever had a saltine after having like a stomach flu for a couple days, and
like
the first
20 minutes
saltine
from now,
you
Miles
down,
is just eating peanuts on the beach. They got food.
They have to chew up time.
Do you think that was just
Truly.
like them having snacks off camera? Like they had the camera rolling, but it like wasn't actually scripted. And like you got to.
that was an actual
you
sincere
have
moment.
got to get on these saltines, dude.
Yeah.
No, I think because what is it, 47 minutes or whatever is the actual runtime of these things.
the
It's like,
first episode's just a sea air over 40 minutes.
okay, and they had 30 pages of script to work with, and they're just like, fuck. That's why all of the action scenes are like overshot, and the editing is dog shit. Just because they're like, just shoot more. We'll edit something together.
Go roll down that hill 3 more times. And we'll use it. Get the clip from Black Dynamite with the car going off the cliff. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Locke asked Jack to stay. He's like, man, you got to stay. Just stay. That'll fix all of our problems.
We're having such a good time.
He appeals to the destiny argument. It's destiny that you were here. It's destiny that we survived. It's everything. The whole thing is destiny. Jack's not having it. It's kind of a version of the conversation they already had. Locke realizes he's not convincing Jack, so he's just saying, all right, well then, if you're going to leave, you got to lie. You got to lie to cover up all of this here. Everything here you got to cover it up because we'll still be in danger.
They sent fucking mercenaries to kill us, and they found us. So
Yeah. And Jack's like, whatever, bro. I'm out of here. But then Ben arrives, and he's like, Jack, you got to leave. And Jack's like, I was leaving.
later.
And then they have like this one joke. There's one joke in the in both episodes.
This scene and the next one were like the only good time I had watching both of these episodes. Like between the like, I don't even remember what the name of the flower was. It was like, you don't know what they look like, do you?
Anthurium, yeah. You couldn't find the Anthuriums. I don't know what they look like.
I did laugh,
got like a genuine chuckle out of me.
Do you suppose it's the potted plants that are sitting here on the ground, or the ones in the big metal cage that are the size of an elevator? Like, I wonder which one are the Anthuriums.
It's very silly. Cut back to the freight whore. Yeah, we have this meaningless scene here where fucking Michael's taking the frozen juice down to the thing, and sounds like, I'm pregnant. Mike's like, high five.
Pregonate.
Pregonate.
I did write that in my notes. Pregonate. Tells him she's pregonate.
I mean, that's her trying to make Michael a little jelly, right? Like,
Yeah, we've all
did
seen.
they have a thing?
We've all seen the Mobisode Lost Missing Pieces, whatever the fuck that one was called, where they almost kiss.
yeah, because that was the one you were on, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I lied. I've seen one Mobisode of Lost also.
I think the title of it was Michael and Son Almost Kiss.
Why should I make Michael jealous? Michael is a good guy. Just leave him alone.
Yeah.
I don't know. The 3 episodes I've seen Michael in, he's a stand-up gentleman.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. If you've not seen all of Michael's shit, he's perfectly fine.
What the fuck? 3 episodes.
I saw him one time be a good dad looking for his kid. I saw him one time being a good dad to his kid, and then I saw him in this episode.
Did you see the one where he betrayed everyone?
Oh, I did see that one, but it was for his kids. How do you blame him?
Did you see 2 episodes before that, before he murked a nice lady and a cop?
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, the nice lady was Libby, who was played by Cynthia Watras, who played Titus for 3 seasons.
There was also the one where he was kind of racist.
Okay, I rescind my statement.
Michael's a great dude if you've only seen some of it. I
maybe fuck
agree with
Michael,
that.
I guess.
Again, Kai is lost on Lost on Lost.
I am. I'm in another dimension of Lost.
So yeah, Michael's like, we'll use the juice here to freeze the bomb, and it'll help a little bit. It might buy us a couple minutes. And Desmond's like, is it enough minutes for us to all get away? And he's like, probably not. And it's like, why bother doing it then? What the fuck's going on here?
Well, but at least Michael's like, I got to start doing it now because if that light goes on, like we don't have enough time once the light goes on. Like we will be dead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good on Michael.
Cut to the beach. Faraday pulls up with the empty Zodiac. He's continuing to shuttle folks back and forth. He gets in. He's like, hey, guess what? The boat's fixed. They're going to come a little bit closer. The reef, they can't, it'll be shorter to get back and forth, but whatever, blah, 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 blah.
But again, he's like, I'm going to take another group in 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes. I'm going to get some water. It's going to take me 10 minutes to drink this water. Yeah. Like, dude, just go. Like, why isn't everybody just sitting there in a line waiting to leave like a fucking ferry?
Well, and all the background extras are just like touching the raft. They keep just kind of like checking its rigidity.
Yeah.
I really like a turgid raft, you know?
Excellent usage of turgid. Love that.
I don't know what that means.
You want a quick Google? Or?
Nope.
What has Faraday not been through that he hasn't taken that tie off yet?
Yep.
Like, he is on this island. He's been shuttling back and forth. Like, you would not catch my ass wearing that tie.
The head fall off, keeps it on. That's all I got.
Head fall off.
Yep.
Head fall off?
Take it off. The head falls off. I don't know.
You know, I don't have a better answer than that because so many guests that have been on the show that have seen Faraday, not even Faraday episodes, because I think there's only one Faraday episode, that encounter this fucking nerd all ask that exact same question, but it must be head fall off.
Provide another,
I don't have an
Ask
Do you have an answer?
In the absence of better options, must be head fall off.
Head fall off.
Head fall off.
Asked and answered. Thank you, Kyle.
Got you.
Still on the beach, Miles decides to stay on the island. I don't know if that'll be important, but I wrote it down.
Miles is eating some peanuts, and fucking Rose is like, don't fucking touch my peanuts.
Did you ask? Who said you could have those peanuts? Can I have these peanuts? I'm watching you. It's like, watch me. We're leaving.
This was also not scripted.
She calls him Shorty. I'm watching you, Shorty.
And I was like, is he short?
He doesn't look like an especially short man.
Is he 5'9"?
Oh.
Guys, hold on. When Faraday walks up, he like signals to Miles, and Miles says, something wrong with your neck?
Head fall off.
Fall off.
Okay, yeah, we just blew the door wide open.
Got her. Fucking got her.
He talks to Charlotte, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. Oh, wait, no, she doesn't have an accent. She's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna get out of here. And Miles is like, oh, after all that time, you're trying to get back here? And she's like, what do you mean back here? And he's like, what do I mean
by
I
that?
also wanted to know what he mean by
I
that.
would love to know.
I don't, but the way he said it, it's the first time I've ever truly hated Miles.
Yeah, he's doing it on purpose to be annoying. But, I mean, the answer is Charlotte was born on the island.
Another island, baby, Kai.
She is a childhood friend of one Benjamin Linus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll watch that episode at some point. Cut to the Orchid. Ben and John Locke take the elevator down to the bottom of the Orchid.
How deep is it? Real deep.
Ben just starts doing some stuff and remembers that at his core, Locke is an iPad kid, so he gives him a tape to watch.
You got any games on your phone?
This training video whips, though. I love this. This show needs more of this.
I would have watched a half hour of this video.
You and I were talking about this yesterday. I was like, if this show was more about like the weird esoteric Dharma shit,
it would be incredible. But instead they made it this like character drama with a bunch of not super deep characters, and like
You had to commit one way or the other, and I don't feel like we did either.
I was just having that conversation with a coworker, and we were talking about Lost. I was like, the show is the best when it remembers that it's a character drama. It shouldn't be a character drama. It should be a cool mystery box show, but they didn't make it that. And then when they forget to do that, it sucks.
yeah, game it out like a completely different show where they're on the island and there's some weird spooky shit, but like there aren't 500 other fucking people on the island. It's all the remnants of the Dharma.
Yeah, like you don't need the rest of the shit going on. Just make it. There's some weird things going on here. It is a puzzle. The puzzle box is how do we get off the island the first time. It's not overcoming all of our past traumas to learn that the island is purgatory. Is that how it ends?
No. So yeah, he watches the tape. It's about time travel. The tape's about time travel. Haloax explains how to do time travel with the vault. Don't put any metal stuff in it. Then this is the second other joke in the show.
Yes.
Is that while he's saying, be sure not to put any metal stuff in there, in the background, Ben is just piling it full of every metal thing.
That was the other chuckle that I had, and then no more.
I do love the idea that time travel machines are basically microwaves.
Yeah, because you can't put a fork in a microwave.
Disabled with a fork, yeah.
Oh, is that why I keep burning up all our microwaves?
We go through them constantly.
Microwaves are not disposable, JP.
No, why did they sell them in a 6-pack at Costco then?
That's a great question. The elevator leaves.
That'll be back in 45 minutes. We are in the center of the earth.
Because it's so deep. Cut to the jungle. Jack, James, Hugo arrive at the chopper. James cuts Frank loose with a hacksaw.
Sawyer and Kate flirt over the fact that she killed someone.
Yeah.
No, that tracks with what I know about Sawyer.
And they're like, all right, fuck it, let's go. And they all pile in a chopper and it takes off. Cut over to the freighter. Desmond, Jen, and Michael continue to work on the bomb.
Cut back to the helicopter.
Cut to the helicopter. The helicopter's losing fluid because it got shot to shit during the battle of the helicopter.
I did giggle when they zoomed to the outside, and it's just
pissing like and nobody noticed before takeoff. Like
No, it's so much gas is coming out so fast.
Well, and the gauge is going down so quickly where it's like, we got to start losing weight. You have seconds of fuel.
Yeah.
It will not
What do you mean
matter.
losing weight? You didn't have gas when you took off.
Yeah, if anything, the helicopter's getting lighter because all the fuel pissing out of it.
Right. There's a
Their heads
there's a
just poke
Goldilocks
out
zone
of
in
the
there.
helicopter to look at the gas coming out.
Yes, the shot where they look out is the greenest green screen.
Yeah.
the most 2007. Like,
It's what they call a poor man's process, when you know you have to do something that would be very, very expensive and you figure out a cheap way to do it. It's almost always green screen.
Yeah.
They do it a lot whenever you see somebody, almost every time you see somebody skydive in a TV show, that's almost, and they're having a conversation while they're falling. Like, that's always fake. Like, and this was one of the worst because they're on a helicopter and Jack, and specifically Saeed, sticks his head out of the door and his hair hardly moves.
And he's trying to act as though there is like air rushing past the door, which is making it flutter, but it's clearly him just shaking the door.
Yeah. It's one of the poorest poor man's processes I've ever seen.
Saeed sells it though.
It's real 2007 in Oshkosh, Wisconsin in the film program.
Yeah, they start losing weight. They throw out anything that's not bolted down. Do you guys remember Hot Shots Part 2?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, the same scene happens in Hot Shots Part 2, and they push a grand piano out of that helicopter.
yeah, I was thinking like through this, they don't throw out all that much. Like there's probably not a lot to go, but they're like, okay, here's a roll of toilet paper, here's a briefcase.
My favorite part is that everyone has to touch it before they throw it out of the
It's a team
helicopter.
exercise. It's bonding.
They like pass it around and then the fourth person throws it out.
And then they're like, did that work? And Frank's like, no, you threw out 8 pounds worth of shit. Like, if we lost 185 pounds, that would be pretty good. And Sawyer's like, interesting.
I feel a hell of a lot better if Sawyer jumped, makes eye contact.
Well, because there is a quick second where he's like, if we were a few 100 pounds lighter, and then they immediately
cut to
Hurley.
Hurley. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I noticed that in the moment we were watching
It was a very brief cut to Hurley, and Hurley with a look of shame on his face. God, if I wasn't so heavy, it's the fucking patio all over again. Sawyer's like, all right, I'll jump. Well, he doesn't say that, but he's like, hey, Kate, psst, I'm gonna jump. I knocked up this lady in Albuquerque. Can you tell her that I'm not around anymore, and tell my daughter that I was a hero? And do you want to make out real quick? And she's like, oh my God, I thought you'd never ask. And then they kiss, and then he jumps out.
The makeout, I think they did like 2 or 3 cuts.
Yeah.
Let's see here. 1, it's still going on, still going on. 2, still going on, still going on, still going on.
There's a cut of them rolling down a hill.
Oh my God, still going on. We're doing this in real time. Still going on. Cut a 3rd time. Still going on. Hold on. And then we get the weird, like, wide shot of Jack.
Like
Kinda
looking
just
at him.
like-
Yeah.
Right, and I understand it's supposed to be this moment, but like they're in sort of a weird love triangle thing. I think it would have been much more impactful had that cut of Jack been somewhere to break up the 20 seconds of them slamming faces together, even if just for but a moment.
Right.
I would have loved to see, as they're making out, you get a shot of Sawyer, and then he opens his eye and he looks at Jack while he's
But only with one eye. It just kind of like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Or Hurley watches it and he's like, bleh. He's like, oh, that's a little bit of weight. I threw up a sandwich.
Yeah. Putting Jack at the end makes him look like he's fretting and not like there's like a jealous aspect to it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it doesn't read as like this is like painful or anything like that to Jack. It's just like, come on, guys, we're losing gas here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're about to crash. Like,
He
stop
looks like,
making out.
can I get a smooch too?
Yeah, like it doesn't create like a yearning feeling at all.
I am dying of an appendix surgery scar, and not a single person has given me a tender smooch on the forehead.
That's actually devastating for him. Maybe I'm back on Jack's side.
Oh, trust me, you'll be off in a moment.
So Sawyer jumps.
Whee!
Thanks for coming.
And they do the thing where they like hold on the ocean for a while to be like, did he make it? It's like, yeah, we've seen Sawyer swim before. He's fine.
Yeah, he'll be
He
fine.
jumped like 40 feet. It probably sucked, but like he's fine.
Yep. Cut back to the island. Faraday still hasn't left.
Oh my God.
Charlotte's like, hey, I'm going to stay. Miles said something weird before, and so I'm going to stay. And Daniel's like, you can't stay. Everybody here's going to die.
Yeah.
As far as I know. So, like, you got to leave, because I like you and I don't want you to die. And she's like, well, I'm sorry. Your weird unrequited crush is going to have to continue. Bye.
So is the idea here that Faraday knows what Ben's about to do?
No. Faraday is under the impression that some different horrible thing is going to happen.
Now, guys, when she kisses him on the cheek, she braces the other side of his head with her hand.
So his head don't fall off.
So head don't fall off. I'm telling you.
The evidence is piling up. Faraday heads over to the raft, and Juliet's like, I'm staying too. He's like,
okay. Oh, I forgot to add her into my fucking intro. Yeah, she's staying too.
Faraday's like, all right, fuck it. I guess all the chicks are staying. Like, pile the dudes on the raft, and we're leaving. The dudes are leaving.
This island is no longer a guyland.
There it is. Guyland.
Yeah, we got there. We got Eric. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Checks in the mail.
So Faraday's like, all right, fuck it. We're leaving. Everybody piles on, and they drive away. Despite the fact that they can only take 6 people on the first pass, like 10 people get in the boat.
Oh, and also Kai noticed that this extra's got a G-string just hanging out of her pants.
Fucking whale tail? Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's subtle. It's a subtle whale tail. And I have to think, because it's the front of the shot, that it has to be on purpose. They had to like scooch it out ever so slightly, just peeking above her like pant line there.
Fucking Bender,
just
you
like
pervert.
A little tasteful whale tail.
Hey, let's take that again. Hey, you, Missy, and the thing. Can you sort of hitch those up a little bit?
Just scooch up your red thong a little bit.
She's like, you got it, Jack.
I've never heard it referred to as a whale tail before.
Have you really not?
Oh,
Really?
That was always growing up in rural Indiana. That was like the derogatory way of referring to it, I guess.
Yeah.
That was like girls and their whale tails.
Cut to the orchid. Kimi's alive because nobody bothered to check if he was actually dead. He's a little homophobic here. He calls Richard his boyfriend as he's like trying to call out Ben. But he's a bad dude, so it's fine, right? Yeah, whatever.
I wish Richard was my boyfriend.
He's like, the one thing that saved me before was body armor, so let me take it off. Check it out.
Also, this prop, which is the same music, like tuning digital tuner that I had in high school for my trombone and euphonium.
I turned this tuner into a dead man switch, and I strapped it to the inside of my bicep.
Eric, we were talking about this. The radio signal is so strong that it is able to permeate, like...
I mean, it's one of those ones. It's like we were trying to determine how far away the boat would be from this bunker.
It's
they were
so far away.
They were far enough inland and down that it was a long enough elevator ride to be like, deep elevator, huh? And then get out to the boat. Like, it's an insane range on this thing.
It's the world's most powerful radio transmitter. But yeah, he goes on this whole spiel. It's like, if you kill me, the boat blows up. I put way too much C4 on it. I got a deal. I bought it at Costco. If my heart stops, boat blow up.
I don't understand how his heart didn't stop the second he met Richard. I mean, those eyes.
Yeah.
Right.
Locke pops out and he's like, bro, I got no beef with you. Let's just chat a little bit. Let's talk. I'm definitely not a distraction. Ben is not in a closet behind you at all.
You idiot.
So let's talk. Kimi's like, I was never much for talking. And he gets ready to go stab him. But then Ben hits him with a baton, wipes him out, gives him a couple of cheap ones. And then he gets his knife and he just starts stabbing the shit out of him.
Just...
He's just like, you killed my daughter. Stab, 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 stab.
What a surprise. Ben betrayed everybody.
Right.
I was flabbergasted.
Yes, he betrayed everybody. I believe that this wasn't a plan.
Yeah, but also there's the line shortly after where Locke says something to the effect of like, you just killed everybody on the boat. And Ben's like, yeah.
And?
Like, he has no reaction at all.
That's the punch out on this part 2 here is, yeah, he's trying to stop Kimi from bleeding out. And Locke says, you killed everyone on that boat. And Ben, cold as ice, says, so? And then smash to the end of the episode. So that's the end of There's No Place Like Home Part 2.
Oh my God, we have another episode to get through.
Yes, sir.
This one's going to take way less time.
18 minutes tops.
There's No Place Like Home Part 3. T2J on this episode is 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Didn't feel like it.
We start to flash forward. Saeed murks some dude outside of Santa Rosa.
Can we just talk briefly about how much of a bummer it is that when they're showing him off the island, his hair is like straightened?
Do you consider that a bummer?
I consider it a bummer.
Okay.
He has such beautiful hair,
Yeah.
and it's like, I mean, it looks great there too, but
Yeah.
it's just like he's got beautiful curls.
Right.
Why?
Right. Like the natural look of his hair is so dope. And
Right.
like he's still handsome here, and yeah, the straightened is a vibe, but like it leans into like Eurocentric beauty standards.
Yeah, exactly. And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, I don't know, he's already stunning. His hair's beautiful. You notice it the second he's in frame.
Yeah.
Why do we mess with perfection?
Good question. So yeah, Saeed goes inside, goes up to Hugo's room. He's playing chess with nobody.
Nobody.
And he's like, "Oh, what's up, dog?" And he's like, "We gotta bail. Jimmy Bentham's dead. You're not safe here." And Hugo's like, "We're not going back, are we?" And he's like, "I didn't mention the island at all. Why would
I
we go
didn't
there?
say
No,
shit."
we're going somewhere safe." He's like, "I just killed a guy who's been watching you for the past week. Paranoia has served me really well. So let's get out of here." Hugo has the line about like, "I talk to dead people all the time. Like, I don't need to be paranoid." And that's whatever. As they're leaving, he checkmates the board and he says, "Checkmate, Mr. Echo." Oh shit!
That was pretty sick.
And then, I mean, I yelled something at the TV. Did you yell something at the TV, Adam?
I didn't know.
I yelled, "Ask him how Goldie's doing."
Oh shit! What if he would have said "checkmate, Goldie"?
The chair would not
It's
be able
bent.
to handle
Yeah, it's,
even
like,
ghost
broken.
Goldie.
The seats caved in.
He's got to get like a love sack from the mall.
Cut to the helicopter. They can't find the freighter. They're driving in circles, and then Hugo spots the freighter. He's like, "It's behind us." And like, okay, well, great
Cool.
timing. We're almost out of gas.
Neat. Next.
Yep. Cut to the Orchid. Kimi is like, he gets out his last words. "Doesn't matter where you go, Widmore will find you." And Ben's like, "Not if I see him first." Cut back to the freighter. Jin and Mike continue to work the bomb. And they're like, "We don't need three of this. You're clearly frustrated with your lack of bomb disarming skills. Just go warn everybody. Your anger is
Well,
fucking up the vibe in here."
Well, isn't this the scene where Desmond's like, "Oh, I think this is the wire. We're gonna
Yeah,
do
let's
it."
pull
Or was-
this one. And then
or
Jin's
no,
like,
is that in a? I think that might have been in the previous episode because
Maybe.
this is where the light does
the
turn.
light,
red.
yeah, the light comes on, yeah.
And they're like, "Oh no, we only got a third of our CO2 left."
Yeah. So yeah, Desmond goes running off and he gets up there and he gets to the deck just as the helicopter's pulling in. He tries to wave him on. He's like, "You can't, there's a bomb, there's a bomb." And Said's like, "Did he say bomb?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, we heard it pretty clearly. He said bomb." And Frank's like, "It doesn't matter. We're out of gas.
We are on fumes.
Crash on the ocean or blow up on the freighter. Damned if you do, damned if you don't."
There's still folks just like working on the deck. You know what I mean? Like there's a guy just like hosing off.
How many
stuff.
people are supposed to be on the freighter at this point? Because
I
like
don't know.
waiting until the bomb is about to explode to tell anybody what's going on seems insane to me.
They should have mentioned it like a while ago.
You'd think.
I think there's like 15 or 20 people on there, like the crew. Like there was like the Merc squad of about 10 guys and then probably about 15 people who worked on the ship itself. So probably between 20 and 25 people. I don't know.
But yeah, Desmond yelling "there's a bomb" kind of gets the rest of the crew like, what?
Yeah.
And they all just start running.
Yeah. Lost Card still on the freighter. They land. Desmond's like, "We gotta leave." And Frank's already like putting duct tape on it. He's like, "Fine, whatever. Let's not leave in 10 minutes. Somebody fix the other bullet hole, whatever.
Also, get us some more gas.
Let's get on it." So they start fixing the chopper.
Fill her up with premium. This is a high performance aircraft.
Yeah. Son is like, "I gotta find Jin." And Kate's like, "Get on the helicopter. I will find Jin."
And she doesn't.
And then she doesn't.
She doesn't. Prime Kate.
Yeah. The light comes on and Mike's like, "That's it. Time's up. Jin, you gotta get the fuck out of here. I will continue to spray the last of our CO2 onto here to buy us as much time as we can. But you, man, you're gonna be a father. I need you to get off of this boat and raise my baby with your wife."
If you're going to be a father, you'll understand this someday. Michael, aren't you a father? But Michael does need to atone for some pretty shitty things.
Jin starts fucking off. Frank starts the chopper. Jack catches Kate before she can go find Jin, and he's like, "We don't have time. We're leaving."
Yeah.
And so they all pile onto the helicopter. Desmond, Saeed, Kate, Jack, Son, Hugo, Aaron, and Frank on the chopper. Start taking off. They're off of the deck, and then Jin comes running up, and he starts, "Oh, wait, no!" It sounds like Son goes nuts, like understandably so. She's like, "We gotta get him. We gotta get him," you know. And Frank's like, "I can't." And it's all whatever.
The two of them continue to be the most believable characters.
Yeah.
They're both just, that broke my heart a little bit.
Oh, for sure. We come back down to the hold, and Michael, the juice runs out of the can, and it's done. And then he starts to hear the whispers. In a season 6 episode, Michael will explain to us, the Lost Faithful, that the whispers are the noises of all the people who couldn't move on and are dead and trapped on the island. So it's like the symbol that you're like near the edge of the veil. And then Christian shows up.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And he says, all right, you can go now. And Michael's like, I was out of CO2. I didn't really have a choice. And then the bomb blows up. The freighter explodes.
Yeah, he says, who are you? And I said, fuck you.
You can go now. Who are you? Man.
Right before this, when Sun was screaming, like, not to leave Jin behind, and then after it explodes, and she's screaming because he's been blown up, and then there's, like, a third time, the performance is really good. She's got a set of fucking pipes on her before screaming.
Yeah. We cut to a flash forward. This is one of few scenes that was actually not shot in Hawaii. This was shot in London due to the OC's Alan Dale being in a performance in London and being unable to go to Hawaii. So they shot this scene actually in London. But the Sun confronts Charles Woodmore outside of some place in London.
We got some reference to this scene.
Yeah.
And Whitmore made it seem like, how dare you? Yeah. You came up to me and I was in front of my friends or something like that. Like,
it's like they went the other direction when you came out of the hotel. Like you were like, all right, check you dudes later. And they all walked off and you walked away by yourself.
Yeah. And she's just like, here's my business card. If you're interested in our shared interest, give me a call.
Yeah. If you want to do a sick team up against Ben and fuck his ass up, call me.
Yeah. Charles overreacted. In whatever other episode that was that we watched.
Old white male indignation.
That's the next 4 years.
I'm excited to vote for Joe Biden next week.
I'm voting for Jimmy Carter. He's done when I say he's done.
We come back to the helicopter, and Sun continues to keen for Jin, and this is killer. Like, she's crawling over people. She's tearing at her own, like, clothing and her surroundings, and just, it's bad enough to have somebody, like, die in front of you, but then, like, the violence of this explosion and, like, being so close and, like...
Yeah, like, if anything, let me just go back and identify that he is, in fact, dead and he's not down there hurt somewhere, and Frank's like, we have no fuel. We need to go.
Yeah, eventually Jack is like... He's gone, and that's it. And she's in shock for like the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
We got to the orchid. This is where I don't think that Ben's murder of Kimi was planned, because Locke's like, what the fuck? And he's like, sometimes good command decisions get compromised by bad emotional responses. I honestly believe that he was really, really distraught over the death of Alex, and he saw an opportunity to get his revenge against Kimi and damn the consequences.
There you go.
I'm sure. It's more that when he's confronted with it, he acts as though he has no remorse in any way for killing a bunch of people that he put on that boat, you know?
Yeah, the remorselessness is something to be concerned about, for sure. Ben wants to get in on the explosion stuff, and he blows up the vault.
Yep.
It happens.
Go to the beach. Juliet sees James swim up.
Okay. So I can't believe he didn't lose the pants. Personally,
he lost the shirt, not the jeans.
It's an insane decision.
Absolutely.
It's a very Sawyer decision.
It's so hard to swim in jeans.
Yeah. He kicked off his shoes and the shirt, yes. Kept the pants on. I think it is lost canon that he has been freeballing since day 3.
Oh, God. Swimming in jeans without
any other layer.
He's just mincemeat at this point.
If they had been jorts, he would have been fine.
Truth.
They did some really hilarious stuff with Desmond being implied nudity post the Swan explosion. Why couldn't they have done that here? Yeah, shirt, shoes, pants, his joint is out. And yeah, just like Juliet holds up the rum bottle and it covers up his unit. Like,
just doing the whole Austin Powers
shot for shot.
Because it's nonsense. The pants, they're so heavy.
She's like, hey, I can see and it cuts to Rose being like, peanuts. I said, don't eat the peanuts. Guys, we need to rewrite this fucking show.
There's enough scenes here to re-edit it.
Yeah.
So she's drinking a little rum. She's having a couple of drinky poos, and he's like, what are we celebrating there, dollface?
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not celebrating. I'm pretty sure the freighter blew up.
When you're in the water, did you feel a big concussion rip through your body?
Did it blow your shirt
That's
and
what
shoes
took
off?
the shirt off.
Oh, no. Eric's metagamed it. There we go.
Got it. So yeah, he's like, fuck. I jumped out of the helicopter to save Kate's life, and it got her killed. Bummer.
Well, no good deed goes unpunished, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Wheel never stops turning. Cut back to the Orchid. Ben is like, all right, well, I got to go do this thing. You can't come with me. You're now the leader of the others. Blessings be upon you. Go talk to Rich and the folks. They will fill you in on how to be the leader, and then you'll be the leader.
Because I have to go do this thing, and I will never be able to come back to the island. Give me my jacket, you fucking bald asshole.
Well, yeah, and that's the rule. Whoever moves the island can't ever come back. Which, we find out later is more of a guideline than a rule.
Yeah.
So yeah, Locke is like, all right, bet. Check you later. And then he just like walks off and meets up with the others. And they're like, welcome home, Locke. And he's like, what's up, y'all? Ben goes down to the frozen wheel. He nicks his arm on a thing as he cuts it. He falls into a very clearly lit chamber and lights a lantern.
He gets the match in one strike, though, and that impressed me.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
He attempts to push the wheel without doing anything to it, despite the fact that he bothered to bring a crowbar. And he eventually cranks the wheel and moves the island.
Neat.
The sky turns white. But yeah, in various places around the island, people are like, what's that noise? The helicopter sees the island disappear. There's a big flash of white, and then just like, bloop, there's like a drop effect, and the island's gone.
Yep.
The helicopter was too far away from the island to get caught in the movement. The Zodiac was close enough because Faraday eventually returns to the island. The Hydra island also is apparently part of it. They're connected. All that stuff's gone. Helicopter crashes out of fuel.
It's also one of those things where it's like, you knew you were running out of fuel. Maybe just fly a little bit closer to the water so that in the event you do run out of fuel, you're not also falling 100 feet.
Put your life jackets on way earlier.
Exactly. Prep the stuff you need for what is obviously going to be a crash landing.
Yeah, they start passing out life jackets, and 2 of them get them on in time.
I also love that they
throw the lifeboat out so
early.
That's exactly what I was going to say. And then it's literally right next to them when they crash into the water.
They all pile in. Desmond is unconscious. They manage to revive him, and they are stranded. They are in the literal middle of the ocean. Just the 8 of them.
There's also a shot of Jack after he like brings Desmond back that is, again, they must have needed a pickup because it's all the shots in the raft are real except for this one shot of Jack, which is clearly green screened.
Yeah,
and it's like, what the fuck happened in production or in the edit?
It's got a super weird grain to it.
Yeah.
Cut to flash forward. Kate wakes up. She hears some noise. She gets her gun out of a place where you wouldn't store a gun if you were planning on using it for home defense.
I keep all my guns in shoe boxes in a closet under my taxes.
For sure.
It's a big gun. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they made a mini version of the Desert Eagle. It's kind of what it looks like.
That's what it looked like, because I looked I was like, that looks like a Desert Eagle, but it's not big enough. But yeah, so she heads into Aaron's room, and Claire is there. And she's like, oh shit, don't touch my son. And she's like, bitch, don't bring him back. Don't bring him back to the island. And Kate's like, I wasn't gonna. And then she wakes up. It's a dream. Claire's not actually there. We don't know where Claire is. Claire disappeared in an earlier episode, and she's gone for all of season 5. And
hey, Kai, do you want to talk about the feng shui of Aaron's room?
Oh, it's confusing and upsetting. So, like, the door opens, and you look into the room, and I get it. He's a small child, so like bed is probably somewhat small, but it looks like a doll bed in comparison to the rest of the room, which has huge looking furniture in it, and it creates this really weird, just like rancid feeling.
But it doesn't look like it's all the way up against the wall.
It looks like it's in the center of the room and tiny compared to what else is in the room.
It makes the room look like a closet is what it does. Like,
I think that's Aaron's body, because we've established in an earlier episode that Aaron, despite the fact that he's 3 years old, is the size of a college linebacker.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that throws the perspective off.
Yeah, it's all about forced perspective and whatnot.
The other thing that threw me is that, like, how old is Aaron supposed to be? Like 3?
3-ish,
Like 3,
yeah.
Okay. Nothing in that room was made for a toddler, and that's weird.
you don't like that orb for a child?
That executive CEO orb.
Sick ass orb. I don't even remember what happened to the fucking rest of the scene because I was fixed on the orb. My ass started pondering.
We promised the folks in our intro that we would talk once again about the orb, and here we are.
She wakes up from the dream. She runs into the kid's bedroom and just like, it's okay, baby. I'll never leave you. I'll never take you back to that weird island. If we have to go back to the weird island, we definitely don't want to have a baby in the script. So you're staying here.
He's also way too clean of a child. You know, I always expect like half a gummy bear to be like stuck up a kid's nose, like our nieces.
Children are filthy.
Yeah. They are always sticky.
We cut to the life raft. They're just yapping. Frank spots some lights and he's like, oh shit, a boat. Fucking
Party boat.
Sick. All right. They start waving, they start hollering, everybody's like, yeah. And Jack's like, we've got to lie.
Yeah, in the hours they had.
Yeah, you know what they didn't talk about?
The funniest thing to me is that not only are they talking about it right now, but they stop trying to signal the boat, and it's dark in the middle of the night in the ocean. So if you're not making noise, they don't know where you are.
Right.
Like, who thought, everyone stop yelling after the initial, like, hey, we're here.
Yeah, they don't have any flares. They don't have any anything.
Right. They're not indicating whatsoever. They're like, we told them once. They'll find us.
Yeah.
There is apparently a little flashing light on top of the life raft, but it's so tiny.
Oh, is there? Okay. That
It's
helps
so
at
little.
least.
Maybe they were on the raft, they were talking about the lie, and they were like, okay, so what's the lie? What's the lie going to be? And then
Jack's like, guys, I got a willy go on.
if we talk about this now, we're not going to have anything to talk about during the episode, the lie. So let's just table that. It is Penny's boat. Remember the last time there was a boat and it wasn't Penny's boat? It is Penny's boat this time.
Oh my God.
Fuck yeah.
Neat.
It's called The Searcher, and it's the same Portuguese dudes who heard the thing that Charlie talked to, and it's the trackers.
It's the same
Yeah,
guys?
it's the Portuguese guys.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, and they're just like,
Good for them.
pull them up, and they're like, hey, Portuguese. They're chattering in Portuguese, but then one of them says, Miss Wismore, and Desmond's like, he starts pushing people out of the way. Get it.
Dude, he runs up the stairs like, this is the only reason I did that tour to Stad.
And Jack's like, oh shit, he is really good at that.
God damn.
This is going to ruin the lie.
He gets up there. You see that Penny over the rail. She comes barreling down, and they reunite on the deck of the thing there. And I was in tears for this.
Yeah.
Like
This was
this wrecked me a little bit.
I felt a lot of emotion, but I was also so angry from the previous hour and 40 minutes that we had watched.
Yeah,
So.
it was a fight to continue to feel here, but I was like, I gotta feel this, and I did.
Yeah.
1 week later,
Still boating.
the six have decided that they're going to beach themselves on the island of Bembata. They've already got the lie. They've established what the lie is going to be. It won't be revealed to the chronological audience till season 5, but they know what they're going to do. Just the six of them. Jack, Kate, Saeed, Hugo, Son, and Aaron are going to get on the boat and go off. Frank and Desmond are going to stay with the Searcher.
God, I just want a Desmond and Frank like side adventure
Fuck yeah.
like season.
that I would watch.
100%.
And Jack says goodbyes to Frank. It's like, so it was a pleasure. I hope I never see you again. And all that, all those typical like, and we made it type of things, like mission accomplished. Fucking fly the banner. Yeah, they fuck off. They roll over to this village. The villagers spot them. They help them off. So it's all right. Cool. They made it. Some of the folks made it. Cut to a flash forward.
The funeral parlor.
Jack just be drunk as hell and listen to the Pixies and fucking could be the move,
Yeah. Breaks into the funeral parlor. There's a big glass window he could throw a rock through, but he's like, I'm going to smash this door handle and then kick the door in.
It's at least a little bit more considerate, because it's a lot harder to clean up glass than it is to hang a door.
Yeah, and to replace a big old window. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got no beef with
Jack.
the funeral home.
Always thinking of others.
It's one thing I know about him.
And I'm always saying that.
Are you?
So yeah, he breaks in. He's drunk as hell. And he's just like, fucking, I gotta talk to my buddy. I didn't get to go to the funeral, so I'm gonna talk to him. Where's the coffin?
Yeah, where's Bury Me Gentle?
Here's a form. I'm gonna sign this form. Jack was here.
Yeah, just a dead body being left out in the coffin overnight in the funeral home, as they do.
Yeah. Because Jill the Butcher's actually not that good at what she fucking does. Ben sneaks up on him. Ah!
Hello, Jack.
I see you've made it to the funeral parlor.
I bet you weren't expecting to see me here.
Why'd you turn him into a rat?
He is. Look
a
at him.
rat.
Sort of a.
But no, he's hot Ben now.
He's not a rat. It's sort of like the same way like Rizzo the rat is hot.
Whoa.
Don't make that face at me.
No, hold on.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm Googling
We gotta unpack this a little bit.
Fucking wait. I'll sit here and wait to be proven right.
Okay, so that is the rat I thought it was.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of questions.
Pepe the Prawn is way hotter.
Well, that wasn't the question.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay,
Pepe the prawn definitely fucks.
I've seen like half of them up in movie once.
That's fine. It's not for everybody.
I mean, she lives with a fucking Muppet, so
Yeah, like why would you watch a movie of that? You wake up next to one every fucking day.
I don't need any more.
Ben's like, hey, I hear you've been like trying to get in a plane wreck. That's fucking dark, my man.
that's fucked up.
I wish I could have got to you earlier and let you know that wasn't gonna work. The island's not gonna let you come back. Jack's like, that's all I want to do. And he's like, let me finish. The island will let all of you come back. And Jack's like, I'm drunk. Do you want to get some fucking fries or what? And he's like, focus. He's like, I don't know where Saeed is. Hugo's insane. Kate won't talk to me anymore because I'm drunk as hell, and I have this weird detachment thing with my nephew son, and Ben's like, I'm fucking sorry I asked.
All I've got is my fake beard.
Jack's like, I'll do whatever it takes. If you say we all gotta go, we all gotta go. Let's go. You and me, we're gonna go. First, we're gonna stop at a bar, get a couple of drinky poos, then we'll figure it out. And Ben's like, slow your roll there, homie. I said all of us. He's got to come too. And he points pointedly to the coffin. And then the camera's behind the coffin. And the lid is open. And we got the shot of the lid of the coffin. And Jack and Ben just beyond it. And the camera rises up over the coffin and points down into the coffin. And oh shit, it's Locke. The body is Locke. Jeremy Bentham was John Locke the whole time. Ah!
Wow.
This reveal of Locke being in the coffin was the big cliffhanger for the end of season 4. A strike-shortened season 4. One note about the length of the episode itself is the movie cut of the episode runs about 83 minutes. Lindelof and Hughes pitched the script for There's No Place Like Home Part 2. It was like 80-some pages, and so they lobbied the network to let them split this super long script into a 2-part episode, which is why it feels padded. It fucking is.
100%.
They didn't have enough for 2 hours, but they had too much for 1.
No, they didn't.
It would have been tighter. Like, it would have been maybe not as many lingering shots.
Yeah, they absolutely could have tightened it up and done one of those like 105-minute runtime episodes, because they had done that in the past on Lost. They had what were called extended episodes, and they ran 5 minutes over the hour mark.
Yeah, I missed part 1 of this, obviously, but like for how barren part 2 and 3 were on, like, writing it down, a lot happened, but it's like nothing happened.
It's just
like,
a lot of moving from A to B.
Yeah.
Just a lot
Right,
of
like 4
movements.
things happened, which is not enough things for 3 episodes.
Yeah, we get to the helicopter, then we get to the freighter, then we get off the helicopter, then we get onto a raft, then the island moves, and then we're on
The
the
island moving
thing,
is like
then
the
we go
last
down,
thing. Oh well, they and then the 6 get rescued, and that's it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's just everyone's just moving to new
Yeah.
locations. That's what all 84 minutes were.
All right, let's fucking do it then. Did we like
Yeah.
it? Was it good? You can like something that sucks. You can hate something that rules. Kai, kick it off.
I did not like it. I do not think it was good.
Fair?
There just wasn't enough things actually happening, and the pacing was just, even with things happening, the pacing was so odd that it even drug through the action.
Yeah, totally. Eric.
No and no. I'll be fair and say the 30 seconds of Dharma Initiative training video, that was cool.
Yeah, that was sick as hell.
Everything else, no. Very plotting, very meandering. It felt like it just went on and on and on. That part 3 was a 43-minute episode that lasted for, I think, 3.5 hours. Yeah. And it was just like everything just was so slow. It did not grip me at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
JB.
No, did not care for this. I know we haven't seen all of the show yet. I think season 4 is probably my least favorite season. I think there's a lot in 5 and 6 that I am enjoying quite a bit. But 4, they spent 1, 2, and 3. We're trying to get off the island. You end 3 with this like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be saved. And then we have a whole season that takes like 2-3 days of real time that just like we're dragging out. And then we're dragging out these last 3 technically episodes. And it's just the pacing is just exhausting. Not because things are happening, just because I'm like, fucking get to a point.
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah, you guys kind of nailed it. Too long, not enough happens in it. If I were ABC at the time when they came to me with an 85-page script and asked to do 2 hours, I would have been like, no, take 20 pages out of that. Make another pass and you take your hour. You've already written a part 1.
Right.
Make this a part 2. Tighten it up. Take some of this shit out of here.
Give it to Topher Grace. He'll fix it.
So, yeah, I'm going to caveat this with, I do think that it suffers a little bit from not watching it in order. The cliffhanger hits much better if you don't already know that John Locke is Jeremy Bentham, whatever.
Totally.
But that said, these 2 episodes are still too long. The out of context thing does not fix that problem.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right. Should we look on the bright side, though?
We absolutely should.
Let's absolutely look on the bright side. We got to hand out some awards here real quick. We got to do the Lost MVP. So who is your favorite person, place, thing, or idea of the episode? Who, amongst all of this bullshit, was still the shining star of these 80-some-odd minutes of television? Kai, why don't you kick us off? Who is your Lost MVP?
I feel like Sun is, because she's the only moment in these 2 episodes where, like, you believe an actor's performance and also care about what's happening to the actor.
Every appearance that I've had on Lost and Lost, I've given out the same MVP, and I'm not going to stray from my roots now. There was one where my vote got overruled and I had to go with the team, but I'm going with Hurley. He didn't really do much, but I mean, he had a strong start with the dick out in the jungle.
Yeah.
Had a very powerful follow-up with eating some saltines. It was a big pivotal moment in the episode. And then he also did not jump out of the helicopter when they said we need to be lighter. And he's like, no, that's everybody else's problem. I'm here for it, man. As a big boy myself, I feel you.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Hurley.
Nice.
Swept my votes and all the times I was on Lost.
Hell yeah.
Nicely done. JP.
I'm just going to give it to Desmond. Because Kai, you and I were talking about this episode earlier today, and you asked something about Desmond. Oh, you said, like, how is it the Oceanic Six? Desmond, because you named him, and I was like, oh, Desmond's not one of them. Desmond's just fucking cool. And then amongst all of this shit that I did not like about these 2 episodes, I was like, man, I fucking love Desmond. So I'm happy he's back with Penny. Yeah, just going to give it to Desmond.
Honorable mention of the way he says, brother.
Oh, yeah. Always. And that he's also drunk most of the time. Adam.
I got to give it to Penny.
Yeah.
Because she got that signal whenever her Portuguese listening station first got the phone call and fucking nailed it. She's like, all right, I know where to go. Let's fucking go.
Sure.
And then fucking, she's benefiting from the largesse of the Widmore fortune, gets her own fucking boat and her own Portuguese sailors and drives out to the middle of nowhere and finds her man. And we stand a motivated queen. So
yes, sir.
She's gonna do it.
Penny. And the 2 of them reuniting was just so cute. I love little romantic.
That is a really sweet moment.
Romantic.
I didn't realize it was the same Portuguese guys. I want a little story of them. Maybe they could get a mobisode.
They should. There are at least 3 mobisodes that they could have replaced with fucking Portuguese dude mobisodes. Right. And
I would watch them on the mob.
All right. Well, there we go. We did it. We looked on the bright side.
Hey!
So now we're going to do not looking on the bright side. The opposite of your Lost MVP. Lost forever. King Suck of Shit Mountain. Who is out here fucking up, just hacking their way through the episode like a big old hack. Kai, kick it off.
It's got to be Ben. Every time he's on screen, things get worse. And not like worse in like he's necessarily a bad guy way. It's just every time I see him or hear him, I know I'm going to be annoyed.
There.
Well, and like you brought up, he betrays everyone at every turn. Why would anyone?
Right. And like, I get what you're saying, that like his character is supposed to be a manipulator, but like to be an effective manipulator, there are times where you will have to successfully work with someone, which Ben never does.
That's a good point.
Because you're not believable as a manipulator if everyone knows that at every turn you're never going to be someone that does what they said they were going to do.
Sure. Right. It's the whole scorpion and the frog thing.
Yeah.
What?
The scorpion rides on the back of the frog and he's like, do you promise not to stab me? And then the scorpion says, yeah, I promise. And then they get halfway across and the scorpion stabs the frog and he's like, why would you fucking do that? And he's like, it's in my nature. Like,
I never saw the Scorpion King. Eric, Lost Forever.
I'm going to give it to J.J. Abrams, I think. I don't get it. Like, I mean, it would probably make more sense if I gave the product a shot from the beginning, but it just feels like anything the dude's involved with is, I'm going to show up, ask a bunch of questions, and go, wouldn't it be cool if there was a polar bear on this tropical island, and then I'm going to leave the room, and I'm going to make it everybody else's problem. Goodbye. And I'm sick of it.
Sure.
Fair enough. JP.
I have 2. I'm going to give it to Kimi's Mercenaries, though. Like, That will be Lost Forever proper.
Mm-hmm.
These chuckle fucks, I don't know how they killed people to begin with, because everyone on the island has guns. They had like the worst military posturing I've ever seen outside of like the Connecticut National Guard. Come at me, Connecticut National Guard.
Connecticut National Guard out here catching strays. Holy shit. Probably because of their bad military posture.
Honorable mention, whoever did the props. The prop of Kimi's like doomsday armband and whatever the weird taser that like hit somebody in the neck, and I was just like, these props are fucking schlocky and I don't appreciate it. Adam,
Locke,
you son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's Locke.
Why?
We've been over this in season 2, man. All you're doing is you're using the same arguments on Jack that didn't work before. Why do you think they're gonna work this time?
It did work. You told him to lie and he lied.
We also told him to stay and he didn't stay.
He wanted him to stay and to believe in the island's power.
Which he does eventually.
Eventually, but not
here.
He's
gotta die about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Locke was pissing me off this episode.
All right, fine. You could be wrong.
Any
honorable mentions?
Jack was pissing me off. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nobody. Well, I don't. Give me. Hold on.
You just say Kate. It's fine.
It's not Kate because it's not Kate. Kate. I mean,
what about Rose? Let Miles eat the peanuts.
Yeah.
It's Faraday.
Oh. Okay.
Why?
You can't hate a man whose head's gonna fall off.
I absolutely can. The 10 minutes thing, dude. Eat me. That's so dumb. Just leave.
Throw me a bottle of water. Get in the raft. Go.
Getting a bottle of water takes not 10 minutes.
Does the way I do it.
But you could, he could potentially have felt that people were on the fence and he was trying to go and give them an opportunity to...
Not his job. Time sensitive, deadline management. We've talked about this on other episodes. You have a job to do, and it's to ferry the people who want to leave off the island. Yeah, maybe some people are on the fence about it, but like a bunch of people aren't. Case in point, the 10 fucking background people who who were waiting there, squeezing the turgid raft, waiting for him to fill up and leave.
That nice lady in a red thong wanted to go.
And honestly, that's another strike against him, fumbling the fucking whale tail lady. Like, he could have had a couple 10 minutes with her, just be like, so, you come here often? Like,
maybe he had bubble guts. Does he have IBS?
He looks like he's got IBS. His character must.
I don't understand why you guys are trying to talk me out of my picks. I'm changing it back to Locke.
All right, no. Faraday
it's a tie between Locke and Faraday. Locke because he was pissing me off, and Faraday because he was pissing me off. And isn't that what the Lost Forever is doing out here pissing
really
me off?
Yeah. Holy smokes. Guys, on top of all of the technical issues that we've had and everything else, and then having to watch both of these episodes of Lost in particular, I just want to thank you both for your continued support of the show, your never-ending patience, and your can-do attitudes.
Anytime.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me on.
What technical issues? This was smooth like butter over here.
Any plugs that you guys want to do?
No.
I got nothing right now.
DTJ Melons on Twitch.
I might have a new project coming up. I've got some irons in the fire.
Okay.
At twitch.tv/DTJmelons. Come watch video games.
Yeah. Games.
Probably some new shit going on that I have not been doing before if I get off my butt and do it.
Yeah.
Eric do be streaming, and it do be entertaining.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what we're watching next time?
Oh, you want to? Yeah. You can tell me. Or do you want me to ask you?
Good. Cool.
Or do you want me to tell you?
Oh.
Let's say it at the same time.
Okay.
Next week
if you're looking to be... If you're looking to be lost with us, next time we're going to be watching Season 6, Episode 6, Sundown, starring Saeed.
Yeah.
Lake Jacobson is coming back. Very excited to have him back. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a great time to refresh yourself on the comedy stylings of Mr. Jacobson. Go back and re-listen to Case Watch 2022. I just re-listened to it a couple of weeks ago. I laughed my butt off. He's a very funny dude.
Look forward to that. So thank you again, Eric and Kai.
Thank you so much, Kai and Eric.
Thank you, audience, for tuning in. And Adam, thank you. And you know what? Just go out and thank a stranger.
The world could use a little more gratitude. Thanks so much, everybody. I'm Adam.
I'm JP.
Do you have any idea what's going on the show?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Lost on Lost is produced and edited by me and JP.
We wish to acknowledge that we live, work, and produce our show on occupied land.
Burbank, California is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Tongva, Chumash, Kizh, and Fernandino Tataviam peoples.
Milwaukee, Wisconsin is located on the traditional tribal lands of the Peoria, Potawatomi, Miama, and Ho-Chunk peoples.
And Lost was produced in Hawaii on the lands of the Kanaka Maoli.
Visit native-land.ca to learn more about the land you live and work on.
You can engage with us on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at LostOnLost1.
You can also email us at wearelostonlost@gmail.com or support us with dollar monies at coffee.com/wearelostonlost.
Thanks to Lostpedia and its community of contributors, Danny Schmitz, random.org, and as always, you the listeners for tuning in.
We're hosted at Podbean. You can hear us there or wherever you get your podcasts, except MySpace. We're not on MySpace.
Yet.